Thank you for reaching out, for bringing me all the current screenshots and information, and for being willing to help out kids who've been affected by this. I would not have been able to do this without you. Are you interested in a cheat for Star Stable? A chance to get all your favorite horse coats in the game completely free, even the coats we're not supposed to have? Are you interested in, say, flying, unlimited star coins, and the ability to level your character into infinitum? Then all you need to do is be willing to show off your body to a man who will sell them on the dark web. And you need to be under 16 years old. Still interested? Fans of the playground are nothing new in horse games, but Zuey, the topic of today's video, is a particular tick that we can't seem to shake off. I made a video about this creep about a year ago and he's making the rounds once again. This video will give a brief recap of what we sort of know that he's done and then dive into some current screenshots. It's mostly the same as the original, but the fact that it's still going on should be cause for concern, because he has been reported numerous times and nothing has been done about this man. But let's first establish why kids are looking for a cheat in Star Stable. The main source of entertainment in Star Stable, the largest MMO horse game, is pretty horses and pretty coats. It's mostly a collecting game at this point, and this has become their main source of income. As such, a lot of coats and horses are released every year, and players clamor to get them, no matter how expensive they might be. Star Stable's prices have been extortionate for a damn long time. To get a single horse in this game will cost you anything from 750 to 950 star coins, which comes up to around $10 per horse. Keep in mind, these are essentially just skins. Top that off with the fact that the game costs around $80 to purchase, and you can see where the frustration begins to grow. And please keep in mind, this game is specifically aimed at very young children, by Star Stable's own admission. Now, at the very least, you do get 100 star coins every week as an allowance, allowing you to purchase one horse every 2 months. But a lot of horses are dropping every year, so it becomes a sort of patience game on what you want to buy. This price, also keep in mind, does not include pets, which go for around 400 star coins, and clothes, which just seem to get more expensive by the week. As you can imagine, for some, that patience is difficult to maintain, and they suffer from FOMO, so they will either buy more coins, which can become way too expensive, or they will look for other means to grab their favorite coats. Enter cheats. In very brief, to cheat in any game, you need a third-party program to run in the background that will allow you to change your game the way you want it. This is not an exploit, which is a bug or glitch you can essentially abuse in the game. A cheat program is specifically designed to alter the game, and a program that you have to start up along with your game in order to apply those changes. A great example is Aim Assist, which helps you aim easier in-game but gives you a greatly unfair advantage against other players, which is why they get so much clapback. Now, cheats for Star Stable come from a few places, but I'll only be talking about one of them, Zuey's or hacks.eu. Now, Zuey is a hunter or fan of the playground, if you catch my drift, as I stated before. He used to live in Germany but has moved to Poland, but here is a description he has put up about himself. About me. Name, Jan, age 18, location, Poland, originally from Germany, but I no longer feel safe there due to certain circumstances. Poland feels more aligned with my values. Languages, German, English, basic Polish, spoken only. Hobbies, sports, coding, hanging out with friends. Spending time with a girlfriend if I have one, currently single. Now, he moved away from Germany because, well, he got caught, frankly. According to someone who used to be on his Discord server, the man's telephone number made the rounds and he was called every day by people who were not exactly happy with him exploiting young girls. As for his real name, it has been floating around the internet for a while. Florian Lehman is the most widely accepted name and the one that has been the most reported, and his age is more than likely around mid-20s, according to those who know him. Here are some things this has done. Zuey has asked for nodes from 14-year-olds to give them full access to a cheat program he stole from another group. He asks the girls to go into a call with him and then tells them to take off their clothes. According to most, he is very demanding and will even demand on the fly nodes by threatening to cut off your admin privileges if you don't do so. He has added not safe for work images in his cheat program that he knew was being used by kids because Star Stable is aimed at kids. He would also advertise in this cheat that if you showed him your nodes, you would get admin privileges. Particularly, he would ask for 14+. Yeah. Just to note, the admin privilege also never worked right. And here he is lying about his age. According to most, he is around 24, more than likely around 26 by this point. Plus, he is disabled according to this image he shared during a live stream himself. His cheat also, according to some, has a rat or a remote access Trojan, which he uses to get your information. If he didn't use that, then he would force you into giving him access to your PC via AnyDesk. This was to ensure you were clean and didn't associate with people he didn't like. And if you were caught doing something that he didn't like, he would hardware ban you away from the cheat. Even if you did show him your nodes, or even if you did pay for the cheat, he would just hardware ban people he didn't like, or that he didn't like who you were associating with. Here, while girl is taking off her clothes, he is telling her to go slowly. You can read that if you want, I don't want to vomit again. Here he is asking girls if they are willing to be node on camera. Despite promising he quote-unquote never recorded the videos, he still had a folder full of images and a video of younger nodes. He has guilt-tripped his girlfriend into staying with him. This was a voice message that was recorded of him berating her for not doing what he wanted because he wanted her on demand. And there's more. Here we have him calling his VIP players sluts and telling them how to obtain that role. And here we have him telling them that if they want to get admin faster, they have to get boobs, more than likely referring to the boob pass, essentially. Like f***ing hell. And that is more or less the gist of it. There's a lot more. If you want to learn more, you can watch the previous vid myself and Quail did on him last year. I'll leave a link here and down below. Here is a short live stream he did a few years ago. At this point in time, his name was Daddy Hacks. Yeah, he's an interesting character. His hack or cheat has been in circulation for over 4 years now, and to be part of it you have to join in on Telegram, or you can join their Discord, but you have to put down a phone number to get in. As of making this video, he has already shut down 3 of the Discords that we know of. Thanks to it being consistently compromised and consistently infiltrated, he is focusing on Telegram and he will be DMing people about the cheat, which is absolutely just worse. Now, if you do receive any sort of message about a cheat from Star Stable, do not reply. This man uses a string of aliases and will continue to switch them out to ensure he does not get caught. Here is a list of names he has used in the past: Zuey, Zuey Gaming, Zuey Gaming Space, Zuey Gaming V1, ZG Official, Official Zuey, Flow, Flow Awesome, Alicia Extreme, Zombie Exploit, Kids Exploit, Tia Light Valley, HQ Premium Cheats, Up to Music, New Ziz, and then we have Jan, which is a new one, as is Sync Girl. The tell is not the name, it's the product he's selling and the prices he's setting. Getting a bit more into the nitty-gritty into the cheat itself, you can see it gives players the option to change codes, gain access to all animations, get access to all horses, even those that should not be available, or even get unlimited access to star coins. Zuey makes it clear that we should not use this cheat to ruin the fun for other players. Don't use it to ruin championships, because we don't want to be assholes. What a swell guy, thinking about the integrity of the game. The problem is it doesn't always work. The code, according to another group, was stolen, and Jan or Zuey or Florian or whatever the hell he wants to be called really doesn't know how to fix the issues. Here he says with a special key you have a function with a trick that still lets you buy fjords or spirit or something like that, but it's buggy. So yeah, this hack is extremely buggy, but although you can purchase it, what he really wants is a 2 to 6 minute video call where he can talk to you while you take off your clothes. Let's get into the evidence. There are 2 ways to acquire this cheat, either by buying or showing your body. For those who have opted to buy, you're going to be wasting your money because he does not give the cheats to those who have paid. As we can see by these screenshots, this person was actually banned from his Discord server. So the better option is to take the video call. And here is a bit more information on how exactly that works. Price: the calls with boobs and ass. You make 12 calls with me and have that forever. That's the hack. How does the call work? It's just to show that's all I want. The call takes less than 1 minute. It can take less than 30 seconds after the 2 calls, because then you know how to make the call. It's best if we go on a call, have everything dressed, and I'll tell you what you need to do via a call. Place the camera in front of where you can be seen, preferably on the bed or on the floor, and make sure you have enough space when you lie down. There is also the exception that it is not 12 calls, then only for 6 calls. It always remains the same call, what you have to do. On the first call, you see what you are doing, and all other calls are the same. The call takes less than 1 minute. Of course, if you want to talk or playing with me, the call could take a little longer. It goes on Snapchat or Discord call. Discord is my favorite. No recordings or photos are taken. It remains private. Nobody has to know that you are doing this. In the call, I tell you what to do. If your English is not good, it doesn't matter because you can understand. Like take off or show is with face, but if you don't want to show your face, then wear a mask or a corona mask, but nothing else works. The look of the person doesn't matter. You can be really fat or really thin. It doesn't matter. Warning: be 100% sure that you want to do it. If you say a few days or weeks later that you don't want to do it after all, then you will be blacklisted, because I don't want to be taken for a ride. You have to tell me that you want to do it 100%. You can't get away after that. So you go into a call and he tells you what to do, and after you're done, you get the cheat. You have to do this 12 times. Here are some other posts. In these posts, he makes it clear that it's boob and ass. He wants to see you naked. This isn't a joke, this isn't some sort of gag, this is dead serious. He wants to see your boobs and ass, and then you will get his hack. Now, you have to ask yourself, why does he do this if it's not to record? And he says, I'll put it this way, I get energy and motivation from the calls, but in turn you also get something from it. Just special role. I'm kind of addicted to it, but I just want to have my motivation and energy for programming. That's why I always run after it and get it. Your ass and boobs gives him motivation to code his shitty hack. Brilliant. But don't worry, if you're nervous about it, he'll take it slow and let you set the pace. You can make contact with him first to ensure you're at ease before bending over and showing him your ass. What a gentleman. He also doesn't care what you look like, big, small, black, white, it doesn't matter. And he gets really miffed if anyone in the Discord tells kids that it's an 18+ server, as we can see here. Don't go ruining the fun. But it all gets a bit more damning. The group of people who reached out to me about the story actually went into his Discord server and got the following screens. I've read that, but I'm 15. I don't know if that's okay with you. I understand it's my choice, but I don't want to make you uncomfortable because of my age. Broken heart. Sync Girl, who is Zuey, says, send me first a picture, a normal face or body or both. The one who contacted him continued to say, my age seemed to have no effect on what he wanted. It made no difference in his profit scheme. After sending my first picture, he continuously asked for more and more until he stopped responding altogether, which is when I went back to the group chat and talked to my friend, another victim of the scheme. Though I had sent pictures, she participated in the calls in which we found out he records almost all of them for leverage and personal pleasure. In already noted evidence that he had used this against girls or his victims countless times, such as setting his cheat background as the pictures, using the pictures of his victims to catfish others into using his exploits. During the previous video, I covered a situation where a girl essentially pushed him a little too far, and here is a quote from her. I often tried to get away from this person, but he always said, if you go, I'll upload something from you. He did, and put a photo of me in his cheat background. I said this in that video, and I'm going to say it in this one as well. Never share personal images with anyone online. You have no idea what their intentions are, and you cannot be sure if they are recording or not. Moving on. After a day of no messages from him, I privately messaged him again. Are you going to respond? In which he responded, soon. As I or have time, we make the call. Say ahead in the call, have everything dressed. I tell you over call what you have to do. Best put the camera somewhere where you can be seen. Have room to lie down. At the first call, you see what you have to do, and every call is the same. Unless you want to do more, teaser picture are always welcome. You read this and you really think this man isn't recording? Like, oh my god. But she continues, he didn't seem to care that I was young or a minor. For him, this was just another day. In the time it took for him to respond, I can assure you he was messaging his other victims. They also say about the other victims, everyone in the server had roles, but a lot of them had a special role, sweet angels, or something along those lines, in which we figured that the people who had that role were either boosters or more than likely the people who called with them. It was his reward for participating and grooming yourself online. What an absolutely sickening thought. But we continue on with the clearly disturbed man. He also makes it clear, so very clear, that he doesn't record anything because trust is an important part of these relationships. For me, trust is more important than recording anything. As they say, trust means the person will always come back. No trust means they'll never return. But then, at the exact same time, he'll tell his gay buddy to sit in on the conversations. As we can see here, I have a friend, he is gay. He can chat with call, make if you want. Yo, what? Seriously? Whoa, what the hell? Crazy! But as of making this video, he has been sort of attacked. People have been going after him, and as a result, his entire Discord got shut down. But after he got harassed, he had this to say. I have to clarify something. There are things coming up that I supposedly did. First of all, I haven't done anything like that and never will, because trust is too important to me for that. Zuey seems to be forgetting that looking at nodes of younger and requesting nodes of younger is against the law. The age of consent in Germany is 14. Now, for a lot of people listening, that might sound shocking. That was for me as well. But what it means is that a 14-year-old can consent to a bedroom act, as long as they are not coerced into it by a more mature person. So technically, a 20-year-old and a 14-year-old can go and do the bedroom act, but if the 20-year-old, say, gets the 14-year-old drunk, or he gives her a roofie, or he tells her that he will give her a pretty pony in Star Stable if she would be willing to take off her clothes, then the 20-year-old is in trouble. It's coercion, and that is against the law. Furthermore, online works a lot different than in person. Some countries have specific age of consent for online information and images. In Germany, the digital age of consent is 16. And here we got Mr. Brightspark asking nodes of a 15-year-old. But just remember, he didn't do nothing wrong. Furthermore, the people who actually seek out these recordings and images are not your average gamer. They are rather sick individuals who find their watering holes in illegal places on the internet. They will not be sharing what they bought easily online because it can be traced back to them. So those images and videos are bought and then saved in a folder on their website for their own motivation. Get it? Motivation? Florian has a hold on them, and they have a hold on Florian. If either party decides to blow the other's cover, it could all come crashing down, and no one wants that. So the chances that Zuey will ever get caught, that anyone who has posed for him will ever see their own videos or images online, is so small it's almost minuscule, because you don't walk in the same circles. You won't find them, they are illegal, and they are floating around on parts of the internet you will never be in. Furthermore, his specific requirements for times, which is, around 1 minute, and very specific things he wants you to do, screams of clients he has to appease. 1 to 3 minutes and up to 6 minutes, showing specific body parts. He guides you through the process. He wants you to lie down. He tells you what to wear. He tells you what to do. If you think for a moment that he is not recording you and posting your nodes on the dark web for others to buy, you are absolutely delusional. That is exactly what he is doing. That is also the reason the cheat is so expensive, anything from 150 to 400 euros. Some have claimed he bumped it up to 500. He makes a lot of money off your nodes and body, so he wants to ensure if you don't want to do this, he'll still get his money back, and if you are unwilling to show your body, he makes it so expensive that the only reasonable way to do this is doing that. After all, he's not forcing you, he's not trying to make you uncomfortable, and oh my gosh, it's just a few minutes, you'll be done in no time.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Continuing on with this terribly sad pretty party of poor Florian, he also says that he would never do anything with a 12-year-old. He generally doesn't do anything under 16. If the person is under 16, I always say no or block the person, which is an absolute lie because there was a 15-year-old that he was fine to do things with. Here he says 14 plus. Like, what is he on about? I also say no or block the person if they ask further questions because I can't do anything with something like that and it's too young and childish for me. But ahead, I can say so much, but you have to decide for yourself who you believe. Yeah, I believe the screenshots. I believe the screenshots, go to hell. I just know that many people think it's bad that I offer something like that because of calls and therefore against me, but that doesn't get me down. It's illegal, dude. It's actually illegal. You are asking nodes from young, underaged people. You are using those images for personal motivation and financial gain. It's illegal. It's not some great trial you must overcome against some terrible injustice. It's just fucking illegal, you low IQ dumpling. Thank you to the people who told me, and sorry again that there are people like that. I'm so grateful there are people like that. I just think cheaters are toxic. So what do you have to say about the person who makes the cheat? Sorry. And for the people who make calls, it's best not to say anything to others for your safety. It's just for you and not for others, you know? Also, I want to make it clear he said generally. I want to make that clear generally, not never, because we know that he did ask for a 14 plus at one point. But now suddenly that's going too far. Go f*** yourself. But he claims angry and defiant, I have shown people my screen and there was no screen recording software. You can secretly record anything today, and there are programs that specifically allow you to do that. This is specifically for streamers. He is deliberately sharing his screen to put you at ease and then recording you taking off your clothes to sell later. Because these little vids of young girls taking off their clothes, it makes a shit ton of money on the dark web. And then he says this, it's best not to tell anyone that you've done this, which is a classic groomer line. Child grooming is a deliberate process by which offenders gradually initiate and maintain sexual relationships with victims in secrecy. Secrecy. By telling children not to tell anyone, the groomer has control over his victims and keeps themselves safe from intervention. Whenever anyone tells you to keep quiet about sexual interactions, chances are really damn good they are doing something illegal and they don't want you to tell anyone about it. He's not telling you to keep quiet for your safety, he's telling you to keep quiet for his. He does this here again. Let me go over the rule. If anyone asks you about the special world for free stuff, let me know immediately, because that's a rule violation. You'll get bonus points from me for reporting it, though I'm not saying yet what these points will be for. In this case, he is directly telling his followers to report anyone asking questions about what is happening on this server. That if anyone doubts it, they will be removed immediately. He even rewards you for doing so. This, in turn, is close to cult-like behavior, because grooming has a lot of overlap with cults. And I quote, maintaining a cult-like control. As part of the grooming process, predators weave a tight web that the victim cannot escape from. Once the sexual abuse is occurring, predators commonly use secrecy and blame, folding the victim into the conspiracy to control the child's continued participation and silence. Children don't want the sexual part of the relationship, but they don't want to lose the rest of the relationship. So they become obedient and endure the abuse. From How Predators Groom and Control Their Victims. I'll link it below, go read and be informed. Before I continue, I do want to define what grooming is, because a lot of misinformation is currently being spread. Grooming is, and I quote, the action of attempting to form a relationship with a child or young person with the intention of essaying them or inducing them to commit an illegal act, such as selling bugs or joining a terrorist organization. A far simpler definition is the practice of preparing or training someone for a particular purpose or activity. In this case, Zuey is preparing kids to be okay with taking off their clothes. It is the first step in convincing someone to do so in person. If they are okay with doing so online, they might be convinced to meet up. Never ever meet up with someone you met online. I know this has been said before, but most of this is aimed at kids, even if you're 20, 30 or 50. Don't go meet someone online alone. Anyone, no matter their age or gender, can be groomed, and the results can be disastrous. Yes, adults can be groomed as well. I will leave links down below for those who want to learn more. Now, this can be seen in the rules and how he runs his discords. He uses shame and guilt and blame to control these kids. If you regret it, you will be removed. If anyone goes against what I do, report them and you will be rewarded. By giving ways for these kids to remain in his good graces, he makes them feel special. They want to feel like they belong, and Florian knows exactly how to do that. He is a very good manipulator. Just to go back to the rules, we can see here that he is coercing them, where he tells you that if you say no, it's fine. This is to ensure that you can't turn around and say he pushed you into something. He is covering his tracks on every front to ensure you don't have a right to be upset, even though he directly tells people to do the boobs because it's faster. Plus, if you did pay, you don't always get your hack. So you tell me, is he an honest guy or is he an absolute But of course, if you still don't believe me, he actually admits it himself. Here Zuey says, I know I made mistakes in the past, but I want to improve. However, I don't have anyone giving me tips on what I can do to be better. And yes, I am the person everyone talks about. I want to get better, but I made those mistakes before, and now everyone keeps bringing them up again. To clarify, I am Flo. You know who? Yes, I have a disability, both physical and mental, 85% each, but I'm currently able to walk. Not much though. From now on, I will never offer calls to anyone under 18. I will always be honest about who I am, but I prefer to be called Jan. I want to be transparent and stop lying, and I know it might take until everyone calms down. Florian is disabled, but that does not excuse his actions. He has enough cognitive function to delete his discords, to use aliases, to ask for nodes, and to manipulate kids. He simply has no excuse to try and say, oh, but poor me, I'm disabled, because his actions speak of someone who clearly understands what he's doing, who is trying to cover his tracks, and as a result, his brain function is good enough to be held accountable. Secondly, this is a manipulative plea. What he is trying to do is he is trying to make you feel bad for ever doubting him so that he can continue to do what he's doing. There is no guarantee that he will not ask nodes of 16 or 15 or 14-year-olds, because even when his limit was 16, he was still fine with asking 15-year-olds to show him nodes. So no, I don't think he will change. And giving him tips on how to be better, guess what, Zuey? There's a very simple way on how to be better. Stop doing what you're doing. That's it. Just stop asking nodes of anyone. Because even if you're asking for someone who is of age, that is still entirely fucking messed up, and you shouldn't be doing that. Go find a different hobby and leave horse kids alone. That is how you will do better. In closing, if you have shown your body to Zuey, know without a shadow of a doubt that those images and videos are now downloaded onto some old guy's computer, and he's finding his own motivation as well. And no one is doing anything about Florian, Zuey, whatever. He has been reported numerous times and he has been brought under scrutiny, but for some reason the police have not done anything about this man. His face is in circulation, he has openly stated that he asks minors to take off their clothes, and no one is doing anything about it. And all of this is very sad because this is nothing new for horse games. We have had predators in Minecraft browser games, and long before in Star Stable, where a child was kidnapped in Rotterdam after meeting a man on Star Stable. She was thankfully found before she could be harmed, but just the fact that it happened is absolutely mind-blowing. So it's a common theme, and one of the reasons why I urge caution when looking for cheats or private servers. But before he shuts down everything entirely, he goes ahead and says this. So I'm getting more and more hate, so I'm going to take the cheat down for now, except for those who made a call for it. I'm holding back for now and won't do any advertising, etc. I'm going to take everything down and rename the cheat, do everything necessary so that it won't be recognized anymore. I will focus on creating and updating cheats for other games for now, as the other SSO cheats developers never seem to do it. When things calm down and says, oh, I'll come back. However, I'll do everything completely differently so that I won't be recognized anymore. Oh no, poor baby. He got a few hate comments and that has made him sad. He's sad. We need to give baby a little bit of milk and then drop him off at the asylum to have his f***ing head checked out. For now, I will only release the cheat through calls. After the first call, you'll already get access to the cheat, and any additional calls will be for a special key only. So he's continuing with what he's doing. We will have no confirmation on whether he is approaching anyone under the age of 18 because he's going to be doing this in secrecy. He's going to be changing his name, he's going to be focusing on different horse games, and all of this is a complete mess. Anyone who is currently running a horse game, Roblox, Minecraft, Star Equestrian, please be aware that this guy might actually step into your game, might be selling cheats for your game, and might be doing so by asking for nodes from your player base. I want to ask everyone who currently has a horse game to release a PSA in order to ensure that kids are aware of this guy so that they don't end up in his circle or don't end up getting manipulated by him. Forewarned is forearmed, and I think it's high time that we start forewarning kids so that they can arm themselves against creeps like this. Because this man isn't stopping. He's clearly never going to stop. He gets a kick out of it, it makes him feel good, and he gets a ton of money out of it. He has further started to associate with a person called SSO Voka or Avoki, who is deliberately selling this cheat and helping kids to find this cheat. Please stay away from Avoki. They are clearly pushing for this cheat to get sold or to, well, get a decent price for it, essentially. In a recent video, Hunter Moonhearth lamented the fact that so many players were attacking and reporting kids who were using cheats. These cheats, she explained, really didn't hurt anyone. They were just making the game experience more fun for themselves. I don't agree. I used to agree, but I really don't anymore. Because the way that these cheats are being distributed and the way these cheats are being used to manipulate young children is getting worse by the day. And it will not stop. it's not going to stop. After this video, I hope you will understand that it's not about the cheat and using it. It's about how the cheat is acquired and the type of people that you will be exposed to if you try and acquire it. I do not for a second believe that Hunter Moonhearth made her video in bad faith. That's not the point I'm making here. The thrust of her argument was more to dissuade dogpiling and normalizing witch hunts in the SSO community. It's very easy to get gets to mats report someone they simply do not like. Kids can be some of the most cruel bullies you will ever encounter, as many of us can attest. So my argument is rather this: when you see someone who is using a cheat, report them. Not to hurt them, but to get less and less people exposed to this type of stuff and prevent them from seeking out creeps like Zuey, Flo, or whatever the hell he's called, to hopefully get a cheat that will mean absolutely nothing to them in the long run. Because Star Stable might shut down, some of the codes might be re-released, we don't know. And finally, to close this video off, I'm gonna say this to Star Stable. If you're watching this, please, for the love of God, do something about it. Start reaching out to the kids who are using these cheats and ask them for information about the guy. Compile that and send it to the German government so that they can do something about it. Banning these accounts might help to sort of whack-a-mole them, but you should also remember that a lot of these kids are young, really young, and if they get their account banned because they got a cheat, then it will teach them a lesson. But it won't help you to get this absolute tick off of your game.